So level 5 of this Good Foot Quest, Motivating Your People, talks about the important subject of ownership and responsibility. What we don't want to do is highly motivated people that are not productive. You know, they love coming to work, but they don't do anything. That's probably not a good idea. We want people to own the responsibility of producing good work for you, as well as be motivated. So how do you do both together? Here's some thoughts on that question. We've seen already that autonomy, mastery, and purpose from Daniel Pink are the main motivators of people in the generations that are coming through now. Autonomy, mastery, and purpose. Now, this is what they want. This is what people generally want. They want independence, autonomy, some decision-making, some control, some self-control over where they work, how they work, what they're working on. They'd like some mastery, i.e. they are recognized as an expert, and purpose. But having offered that to them and discussed it with them, they need to be accountable. So these are the questions that I hope you find useful. What is left to do is one of the most powerful questions you can say as a manager. Don't ask people, how's it going? You'll get the 4-letter word beginning with F in response, which is the word fine. It's going fine. And you won't gain any information. If you want it as a friendly comment, how's it going? Fine, then that's great. But if you're trying to get data, it doesn't help at all. So the question, I'm going to be asking you what's left to do, and I'd like you to be specific. What problems do you foresee coming up? And what will you put in place to prevent the problems happening? This is a you again. What are you going to do about this? Not what is happening and what are the problems and where do you need help? No. Firstly, what problems do you see coming up and what are you going to do to stop them happening? So you're giving a responsibility through the questions. This is for people that are starting to be late with work, difficult to deal with perhaps. They promise stuff that is not happening. You ask them about consequences. So what consequences do you see if we don't deliver? And go quiet and let them figure it out. What are the consequences if you don't do your job? Rather than telling people again, rather than getting angry or upset with people if they're not delivering, start with asking the question. This is giving responsibility. And you can actually give this list of questions to your team and say that these are the questions I'm going to be asking you regularly. And if they just read the questions, they think, oh, okay, I got to be straight with this person. How are your communications going? If you found that you're not getting enough feedback, how are your communications going? Can you give me your thoughts on it? What's your responsibility in this area? Very powerful question. What is your responsibility? What do you see as your responsibility? Because this is what I see. This is how you'd follow it up. And of course, what you're doing is you're beginning to bring pressure of ownership and responsibility. And remember, from the previous level, we're using the style of the expectations discussion. Look, I expect these things from you. There's some things I do not expect from you, which is basically giving problems back to me. But this is what you can expect from me. Full support as long as you're honest, but you can't expect me to do your job for you. So the questions on the right, I suggest share them with the team, share them with individuals. Remember the expectations discussions. And in all of your motivation, bend over backwards to motivate your team at the same time as giving clear indications that they have ownership and responsibility. The two go together.